What is the difference between I visited Paris and I have visited Paris? They seem so similar, but they tell a completely different story. This one small difference is the key to unlocking the most confusing, most misunderstood, but also most beautiful tense in the English language. It doesn't just talk about the past. It connects the past to who you are today. Welcome to the first episode of our new series, English Grammar Unlocked. I'm your host, Scarlett. Today, we are going on a mission to conquer the biggest enemy for many learners, the present perfect tense. In today's lesson, we will turn a complex grammar rule into a simple story. First, we will listen to the story of an adventurer named Alex to understand how and why we use the present perfect. Second, we will master 10 essential vocabulary words about travel and life experiences. And finally, we will break down the structure and meaning of the present perfect so you can use it with confidence. Part 1. Meet Alex, the adventurer. To truly understand the present perfect, we need a story. So, let's meet our main character for today. His name is Alex, an old explorer sitting in his small cottage, looking back on his extraordinary life. Imagine a man with eyes that have seen the world, sitting by a fireplace with an old world map spread out on his table. He begins to tell his story. He says, "My life has been one long, incredible journey. I have traveled to over 50 countries. It's amazing to think about. Every country has taught me something new." Pay close attention to his first sentence. I have traveled to over 50 countries. Alex is talking about his entire life experience, from the past up until this very moment. He is not saying when he visited a specific country. The time is not important. What is important is the experience itself, and that experience has shaped the person he is today. Now, listen carefully as he tells a specific story. He continues, "I remember my first trip very well. I went to Egypt when I was just 20 years old. That trip was incredible. My father gave me an old camera, and I took hundreds of photos. I have never forgotten the feeling of seeing the pyramids for the first time." Did you see the difference? When he talked about the trip to Egypt, a specific finished event in his past, he used the simple past tense. I went. My father gave. I took. But when he talked about the feeling, a memory that is still alive inside him now, he switched back to the present perfect. I have never forgotten. This is the first secret of this tense. It builds a bridge between the past and the present. Part 2, the map of a lifetime, using present perfect for experience. Now, let's dive deeper into the first and most common use of the present perfect. To talk about life experiences when the specific time is not important. Alex points to his map and continues his story. This map is full of memories, he says. I have seen the sunrise over the Himalayas. I have eaten strange and wonderful foods in Thailand. I have learned 3 different languages on my travels. These experiences have become a part of me. Let's analyze these sentences. When Alex says, I have seen the sunrise, he is not saying, I saw the sunrise on Tuesday morning, June 4th, 1985. The time is not important. What is important is that he holds that experience in the storage of his life. It is part of who he is now. This is an important rule. If you are not talking about a specific finished time in the past, like yesterday, last week, or in 1999, and you are talking about a general life experience. The present perfect is the perfect choice. He continues, pointing to an empty area on the map. I have never visited Japan. It's exciting to think that, after all these years, there are still so many adventures waiting for me. The phrase I have never visited also uses the present perfect to talk about something that has not happened in his life up to now. To practice, think about your own life. What have you done? Where have you been? You could say, I have read the Harry Potter books, or I have never tried skiing. Part 3. The Unfinished Journey, using present perfect for the unfinished past. Now, let's explore the second important use of this tense, to talk about actions or situations that started in the past and are still continuing or are still relevant in the present. A young friend visits Alex and asks, "How long have you lived here?" Alex smiles and replies, "I have lived in this small cottage for 10 years. This sentence means that Alex started living there 10 years ago, and he still lives there right now. The action of living is not finished. This is a very big difference from the simple past. If Alex said, I lived in this cottage for 10 years, it would mean he lived there for 10 years in the past, but now he lives somewhere else. Let's look at another example. The young friend says, I admire you so much. I have studied English since I was a child. This means she started studying when she was a child, and she still studies English now. This use of the present perfect often includes the words for, to describe a period of time, and since, to describe a starting point. For example, I have lived here for 10 years. I have lived here since 2015. She has studied English since she was a child. This is how you talk about an unfinished journey, a strong bridge connecting your past to your present reality. Part 4. Language focus. Now, let's move to our language focus. First, let's master our 10 essential vocabulary words for today's topic. Our first word is experience. An experience is knowledge or skill that you get from doing, seeing, or feeling things. For example, the present perfect tense is often used to talk about life experiences. Another example is, he has a lot of experience working with customers. Our second word is adventure. An adventure is an unusual, exciting, and possibly dangerous activity or journey. For example, Alex's life was a great adventure. Another example is, we had an unforgettable adventure in the jungle. Our third word is to explore. To explore means to travel to or around a place in order to learn about it. For example, he wanted to explore new cultures. Another example is, the children love to explore the garden. Next, we have journey. A journey is a long trip from one place to another or a long process of personal change. For example, learning a language is a long journey. Another example is, they began a 3-week journey across Europe. Our fifth word is unforgettable. Unforgettable means impossible to forget. Very memorable. For example, seeing the pyramids was an unforgettable experience for Alex. Another example is, their wedding was an unforgettable day. The sixth word is culture. Culture is the ideas, customs, and social behavior of a particular people or society. For example, travel helps you learn about different cultures. Another example is, food is an important part of Italian culture. Our seventh phrase is so far. So far means until now or up to this point. For example, so far, this has been a very interesting grammar lesson. Another example is the movie has been very good so far. Next, we have lifetime. A lifetime is the duration of a person's life. For example, he has had many adventures in his lifetime. Another example is, that is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Our ninth word is to connect. To connect, in this context, means to feel a link between the past and the present. For example, the present perfect connects past experiences to who you are now. Another example is, I felt a strong connection to the character in the book. And our final word is to accomplish. To accomplish means to achieve or complete something successfully. For example, think about all you have accomplished on your English journey. Another example is, she worked hard to accomplish her goals. Now let's look more closely at our grammar focus, the present perfect tense. Let's break it down. The structure of this tense is subject plus have, has, plus past participle. We use have with I, you, we, and they. I have seen. We use has with he, she, and it. She has seen. What is a past participle? For regular verbs, it is the same as the simple past form. It ends in ed. For example, visited, traveled, lived. For irregular verbs, we need to memorize them. For example, seen from see, eaten from my, eat, been from be, gone from go, done from do. Now, let's summarize the two main uses we have learned. 1. Life experience, when the specific time is not important. I have visited France. 2. Unfinished past, when an action started in d'avenir, the past, and continues to the present. I have studied English for 3 years and remember some common signal words that often appear with this tense. For, since, ever, never, already, yet, and so far. Part 5. Practice tips for the 4 skills. Now, how can you practice this new grammar tense? For listening, listen to an interview with a famous actor, athlete, or traveler. Listen for sentences where they say, I have, when they talk about their life experiences. I have won 3 championships. I have worked with many great directors. For speaking, use your AI tutor. Start a conversation with this prompt. Let's talk about travel experiences. Then, try to tell your AI 3 things you have done in your life and 1 thing you have never done. For example, I have eaten sushi. I have never seen snow. For reading, look at the experience section of someone's online resume or LinkedIn profile. You will see the present perfect everywhere. He has managed a team of 5 people. She has worked in the industry for 10 years. And for writing, use your journal to create your own experience list. Write 5 sentences starting with I have or I have never. For example, I have learned to cook. I have never traveled by airplane. Part 6. Your next action. The present perfect is more than just grammar. It is the tense of storytelling. It connects who you were to who you are today. Your experiences, your accomplishments, your journey so far. This is your story, and now you have the language to tell it. As we conclude, let's summarize our lesson. First, we followed the story of the adventurer, Alex. Second, we learned the two key uses of the present perfect, for life experiences and for the unfinished past. And, finally, we broke down its structure and signal words. We also learned 10 essential vocabulary words. As a review, those words were experience, adventure, to explore, journey, unforgettable, culture, so far, lifetime, to connect, and to accomplish. Now I have a question for you. What is one interesting thing you have done in your life? Please, share your experience using the present perfect in the comments below. If you are committed to making this lesson a part of your life, show your energy by smashing that like button. Be a hero for a friend by sharing this video with someone you know is struggling with this grammar tense. And to lock in your commitment to learning, subscribe and smash that notification bell. So you don't miss our next workout. Remember, your story is important. Until next time, take care and happy learning.